another episode of the Hey Hire Us podcast and the first episode for 2021. Woo! It's just gonna be your hosts, me, Arielle.
And me, Abigail.
Today, we are gonna be talking about fun things. It's also a catch-up session because I feel like we have not video called each other in a while.
That's true.
And today we will be talking about goals for the new year and passion projects. Because I feel we always talk about stuff like this. And we thought it would be, you know, a nice way to kick it off for the new year.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like we already had this idea, but I think just there's a meme going around the other day with Yoda.
Yeah, with Baby Yoda. And he's straight up like, what are you manifesting for 2021? And we made a list. I made a list. You made a list. Mm-hmm. And yeah, what's your first passion project or goal? Well, the first goal really is to be hired.
Yeah.
Hired.
Yeah, the thing that I really liked about that Twitter post was that it was personal and professional. Mm-hmm. So why don't we go into professional, which is, of course, to get a job. And especially for Arielle, because... Arielle.
Well, to elaborate, for me, the main goal for 2021 is obviously getting a professional, like breaking into the industry and getting my first full-time studio job, especially since I'm on an international student visa, which gives me a countdown. If I don't get a job, that means I have to leave the States and go home. However, I'm not gonna freak out just about yet. Because I feel like, keep a positive mind, but it would be really nice.
So Arielle's going to keep a positive mind, but this is me asking any of Arielle's friends who are in the big companies, because those are like, Disney, DreamWorks TV, Nickelodeon. Those are the companies who can sponsor visas. And please reach out to her and ask around for a color, background painter, biz
for
dev
any
artist,
art department job,
anything, because she needs to get a job, and because we don't want Arielle to leave, because it will be big sad. So yeah. For me, of course, like we said, get a job. And also, I'm like blanking now.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't really like thought of the new year just yet, except for just like, I hope that I'll get a job, but yeah.
I guess for me, because I want to go into comics more and I want to delve into the world of webtoon. I have like a lot of comic ideas. I have 2 more horror comic ideas and a personal comic about being Korean.
I love that you have more horror comic ideas, but you don't watch anything horror with me.
That's the type of Korean I am.
I'm like, what is this?
I know, I'm a fake fan because I'm a scaredy cat. But yeah, I also maybe want to go into like getting a literary agent or like pitching a graphic novel.
That's a goal for me as well, because one of my, I think it's a hybrid between professional and personal goals is I want to write and illustrate a picture book. So maybe like, getting signed with an agent would be really cool, but that's also a goal. Personal goal is to actually like refine my illustration portfolio, because I feel like my portfolio has only been focused on biz dev and character design for animation, and I want to, streamline another portfolio for like publishing. Yeah.
To go with like breaking to the industry, I don't know if we're gonna do an episode about struggling through the job search, because like it's been pretty rough lately, and I feel like I'm applying to things, but I feel like you have to do like times 500 to break into the industry. And I think I want to be more shameless in 2021 of not being afraid to reach out to friends or mutuals who are at studios and asking them if there are positions open, because you don't want to feel like the person who's like, oh, I'm using you to get in, but that's kind of like the only way to break into the industry. And I want to start like emailing recruiters more and like constantly pushing myself more, because it's like that, I don't know, it's just like especially for you, Ariel, it's just like survival. It's like we're at this point where we have to like just like every month or every other week, just like
I feel like I feel like that has to be me starting the new year. I have to be like, hey, well, to be fair, I feel like I'm slowly getting there because lately I've been just emailing a bunch of smaller studios and being like, hey, my work is available for freelance. I'm a big fan of what you guys do. If you guys need any illustrators or character designers, here's my work. Just being like, I'm here if you need me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like if I need to learn how to be, you know, more forward with the things I want, especially with the studios I want to work with. Yeah, and the kind of work I want to make. Because at the end of the day, even if I talk about like, you know, I'm fine with like just focusing on illustration and stuff. At the end of the day, my real goal is like I want to work on an animated film or an animated TV show. I want people to watch my work. So yeah.
So if there's any recruiters
listening out there,
we will reach out to you in the future, just in 2021. Please look forward to that. And yeah, I think I was really hesitant to reach out to recruiters because I didn't have new work, which is totally valid. But even if just applying to a new job, you should reach out. Like every time you apply to a new position, just reach out to a recruiter. And you might not get any response because they're understandably busy. But if you keep on doing that and trying to, and being genuine and being nice and being polite, you might be able to build up some sort of relationship. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that more. And sometimes, like I said before, like you don't want to feel like a bother, but that's how people get in. So we're gonna try to do that.
That's always what's in the back of my head. I'm like, I don't want to bother people, but here I am.
As long as it's not like every week or every day.
Yeah,
if it's every month or every update. As long as you're not
being annoying, I think it's fine.
Yeah, and as long as you don't expect anything in return, that's fine. But
I pulled up like the tweet I made of what my Baby Yoda manifestations are.
Do you have more?
A personal one is return to YouTube, maybe?
Yay!
Question mark? Okay, if you follow Abby and I on our social medias, you do know that Abby and I have lately been into TikTok.
And you should follow our social
You should follow
media.
us. Everyone is
doing?
Yeah, you should follow us on TikTok. It's Yelly Draws and Abigail. So follow us for that. But I mean, at the beginning of college, like freshman and sophomore year, I think that was when we were most active. Abby and
sophomore year especially.
Yeah, sophomore year. Abby and I used to vlog a lot. So I kind of want to get back into that, especially since the content I would be making wouldn't just be like, you know, school stuff anymore. I want to kind of show what life has been like as a recent graduate, kind of. Does that make sense? And also just because I've been watching a lot of freelancers and I feel like it's such a great way to, you know, get information about, you know, what artists do. Yeah.
I love watching studio vlogs, and I don't know what kind of content I don't know what kind of content I would make if it would be studio vlogs, but I definitely want to try getting like maybe documenting my comic process and like talking about me going through the resources I make, like stuff like that. And I don't know, even if it's not YouTube, I want to get more into TikTok, like you said, but also Twitch. I feel like that would be really fun to do.
I have a Twitch. I don't use
it. We can joint stream together, Ariel.
Yeah.
And also Patreon, maybe.
Yes. Oh, that's a goal for me. It's like I want to build up a Patreon. So I want to offer people more things about my art. I want to build my audience better.
Yeah. Other personal goals is I want to learn the bass. And
hell yeah!
Because I feel like, especially Ariel knows, and Maria, our producer, and my sister, they always know that what grabs me to a song is usually a funky bass line. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. So I want to try playing that in the future. And I also want to learn Korean because I am Korean American, but I really don't know how to speak it, and I want to try learning it more. And because learning an instrument and learning Korean, I haven't done that since high school, and not learning Korean, but learning a language, and that's like that was a lot of fun. So since I'm out of college, I can do it.
Yeah, essentially we kind of have time. We do have time, but I'm also like, there's so much time. What do I focus on?
Yeah.
On relation to like you learning the bass, that's been me with getting back into playing the piano.
Yeah.
I've been playing piano since I was like 6 or 7, and reading sheet music is a skill I kind of don't want to lose because I think it's so cool. It's a whole new language in itself, so I don't want to, lose that skill. So I've been trying to train my music reading abilities again.
Yeah.
So hopefully I really get back into actually playing the piano for the next year and like play actual pieces and stuff. So
I don't know. I feel like it's been a long time since I've gotten a hobby that's not really so directly related to my art, because even this podcast is still
we're still talking about like related what we do.
So and even though like learning an instrument, that is technically an art, but it's like so different from what I do, so I'm really excited because it's like, oh, I can finally just relax and not think about drawing something.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. I kind of want to build a life and hobby outside of just drawing, because I feel like, especially with the hustle I've been doing, trying to get a job, especially with my deadline of existence here in the States impending upon me, I kind of like forget to just take a break and not draw for once. I feel like I've just become so dependent on I have to work. I guess that's a personal goal, is to like actually take rest days and take care of myself, because I feel like I'm just constantly
totally relate
going.
Like burnout is so real, and I want to try and not burn myself out in 2021. Yeah, I feel like this is random, but 2021 is an ugly number, but hopefully it won't be an ugly year.
That's the quote for this episode. 2021 is an ugly number, but it won't be an ugly year.
Because 2020 lied to us. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't know. Oh, another goal I kind of want, but we'll see how it goes, because I know it takes a lot of research. I kind of want to start selling like physical copies of my art, like at an actual store.
Yeah,
I've always
stickers.
wanted to. Oh, and that's another hobby of mine. I want to get back into crafting and bookbinding, because that used to be like my thing when I was younger. So I was like, oh, what if I start making handmade sketchbooks again, and then get back into that. So hopefully I'll get back into crafts as well.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. But I think that's been a goal of mine, is to make an online store.
Yeah. Because
that's another stream of like artist income, which would be like great. But that's another goal of mine.
The small business TikToks that are always around. I always like those, so I see so many.
I haven't like browsed the small business TikTok, but I always I see people like sharing the stuff they sell, and I'm like, oh my god, people are so cool. I want to be cool
too. Yeah, I guess that's like all our goals, and I only had 4 goals last year, which was to graduate, drink more water. I guess I kind of did that. I am not as much as I should. What was it? Oh no, I'm gonna look at what I had as goals. I don't remember.
I don't remember what goals I had for 2020. I think the main thing was like, I'm just gonna graduate.
I think one of them was draw every day, which was a bad goal, or draw a comic or something every day, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't a good goal. And then it was get a job. So I kind of only did one of those, which is graduate.
It's fine. We have so much time in the world. But yeah, that's a weird thing, is like, when we, especially, I remember when for sophomore year, when was sophomore year? 2018, was it? Like when we were in winter or something?
I think so.
2018, I remember you and me, we always do this at the beginning of the year. We're like, okay, we're gonna do the 365-day drawing challenge, and then we never finish it.
Bad.
Honestly, that challenge is kind of stressful. Like, props,
365 burnout.
Props to people who like finish it and actually do it, but it's hard. Like, I feel like I don't know, don't force yourself to draw every day, because sometimes it just won't happen.
I know freaking Instagram loves those type of things, but I'm just like, I can't with you. I can't do this.
Instagram sucks. It's
been sorry
real
if you're
bad.
Instagram.
Hey, if you're listening to Instagram, you might want to fix your algorithm for artists, just saying.
Yeah. I really don't check you anymore because it's stressful. I guess since we're done with goals, we can talk about projects.
Tell me about your horror comic.
I can't really talk about my project for horror comic because then I will give away what makes it. I didn't even tell Arielle because Arielle wants to wait until she sees it. And usually I tell Arielle all my projects.
I can talk about the picture book idea because, I mean, it's been a project of mine for a really long time, and it was on my portfolio, but I think I took it down because I want to revamp the entire story. But if you follow me on my socials, sometimes I post about my moon spirit character, Tala. I think that's her name. I feel like I'm gonna change it someday. But basically, she's a moon spirit who's sent to Earth because she is going to look for the stars. And in my story, the stars are missing because of light pollution. And at first, I pitched it as a short animated film, and that's been my goal ever since animated. But looking back at it now, I was thinking that it would make a really good picture book.
Yeah.
And a lot of my work is, it's very much inspired by environmental issues and, being able to educate people about it. And I thought having the story as a picture book would be a nice way to intro kids to other kinds of pollution that isn't just like littering trash or whatever. I think that's been a goal of mine. I have to I've been researching on how to write for kids, because obviously after writing just in general, I feel, and with the age we are right now, it's just a lot. So I'm trying to figure out how to condense the story into something that kids will understand easier. And make it into how many pages are picture books? They're not a lot. So I've been reading a bunch of kids books, and hopefully, that's gonna be a big goal for me for 2021 is to really flesh that out and illustrate for that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For me, with the comics route, there's the 2 horror comics, and then there's a comic about being Korean enough. Or Korean American enough, because that was inspired by a professor. If you follow my Twitter, you probably know the story, but I'm excited for that. And then I have kind of 2 webcomic ideas, one that's shorter than the other. And then I want to collab with Maria because Maria writes, and I want to try collabing with her on a comic, a webtoon.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So
that's really fun.
She's brainstorming right now because I want her to really come up with a story. So we will see how that goes. I'm excited for that.
That's so fun. I should ask my sister if she wants to do stuff, because my sister's also very much into environmental issues and sustainability. But she's a freshman in college as well, so I feel like she's adjusting to life.
That's true. Both of our sisters are freshmen right now, and it's kind of a struggle.
We're what's college?
We're so sorry that you have to go through this right now.
But yeah, so that's another goal. That's, I guess, I feel like the biggest project goal I want to do. And yeah, aside from the picture book, if I'm gonna talk about streamlining my portfolio for animation reasons, I've always wanted to make character designs out of musicals. So I will actually write this down and do it, because I've gotten back into my musical agenda, and I was thinking I was it would be fun to actually design the ensemble for each of these musicals. So that would be a project, and hopefully it'll help push my the diversity in my designs.
For me, for boards, I've been really kind of burnt out with boarding, which is, I don't know. My relationship with boards have been like kind of rocky, but I feel like the energy's coming back. So I do want to board an animatic. I don't know which one, but I really enjoyed the first one I did for a school project. And I also want to do, ooh, that was a sentence. I also want to do a kind of short series like that's based on hugs. It's like sounds so stupid, but it's a series that I was talking with my friend Alice, and it was been in the back of my mind. So we're gonna see if that it's gonna. I don't even know how it's gonna work, because I know like for portfolios they don't like seeing like short snippets of stuff like that, but I think it's just more for me. And then I want to do another comic idea I want to do is using the photos of friends that sent this. I was gonna do it in November, but I was so busy. But I asked my friends if they could send me photos of their like city or their home, or just like while they're on the walk, any nature. And I want to draw a little hedgehog traveling through
that's so cute.
Yeah.
That's really cute. I don't know. I feel like it's totally fine. Like, I feel like we both had that weird moment in 2020 with our relationship with what we do. Because with you being burnt out with boards, and then I think since graduating, I just had like a weird disconnect with how I look at my art for a really long time. Like, I was just not satisfied with any of the characters I was designing. I just didn't like anything I was making. So I think it's the burnout. It definitely is the burnout from art, like graduating in art school. But I don't know. I just taking that break kind of helped reset, and hopefully, like with the new projects I want to do, like the inspiration and the motivation to go back into designing will actually come back, and I won't feel like bad about it.
Yeah, it's just like kind of a tricky kind of thing, because you feel guilty for not working on your portfolio even though you're doing stuff for your portfolio. Because I was like talking to my friends, I'm like, oh, I'm like making comics and I'm really enjoying it, but it's not for my portfolio. And they're like, wait, that could still be for your portfolio. And it is, but I don't know, it's just like
I get that. I was telling you like like I think last week we were talking, and then I said I feel bad because I am drawing a lot lately. I've been drawing a lot, but it's just been fan art. And while it makes me feel good about my art, and you know, I'm happy to be creating, it's not like these are the things you kind of want to put in your portfolio. But at the same time, I'm in that weird like place where I look at the fan art I've been making and I'm like, hey, I like the designs I've been making for these characters. So it's just like, it's a weird thing. It's like I'm not creating for my portfolio, but I feel like it can be. But at the same time, that's not what I feel like should be shown to like recruiters and studios. So yeah.
I feel like you're still designing though, because like making choices for fan art is still designing. So, you know, and I see that improvement with the line art. So there's that.
That's one thing. I've been going back into like drawing with line art.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, what other projects do you have in mind? Well, hopefully to expand this podcast. I don't know. I've just been really happy with like what we've been doing, because actually, just, you know, shout out to like everyone who's been listening. A couple of you have sent us really sweet messages about, you know, how this podcast has been making you feel, and we're glad that you guys don't feel as alone anymore, because this is why we wanted to start the podcast, because it's so many other people are going through the exact same journey that we all are, and you're not alone. And we hope that this little project that we started, you know, helps build a community where you can feel welcome and that you can talk about your struggles with.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, it's like we're all going through the same thing, but I think it's cool hearing everyone's journey in the episodes and how everyone's going through it differently, or like might be struggling with different things. So like hopefully if you don't relate to something we're going through, you can like listen to another episode and see like what one of our friends is going to and relate to that, or just you know, see how everyone's struggling in different ways. Because some people, you're like, oh, they might look at us and they're like, oh, you have, I don't know, connections with people in the industry, or you seem like you're doing fine, you seem like you're gonna get a job. And then it's like, not just because, even if people have gotten jobs, it can still be a struggle. Like industry people can still struggle to get jobs. So just to show that we're all going through our different different journeys, and it's all can be very rocky. I don't know what that was, but yeah.
No, that makes sense. I don't know, I just wanted to shout out the people who've been listening, because
yeah, it's so sweet. Thank you
guys. It's very
guys.
sweet, and it makes, because I don't know, starting this we were like, are people gonna listen? What's gonna happen to this podcast? But it's just been nice to hear from people what they feel and what they think. So thank you, everyone. Anyway,
it's also been really nice just to talk to our friends, and we have like, this is just the beginning. I don't know how long this podcast will go for, but we have still so many friends that we want to talk to, and so many friends that we think deserve to get hired. So I'm excited to show all of that to you guys.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm trying to think of like other projects I have in mind. You know what? This is another. It's not a professional goal or anything. This actually seems to me like unproductive, but I think it's productive. I actually want to watch more things. I feel like, especially now that I have time, I've watched a bunch of cool things, and you know, it's nice to be getting inspired by like a lot of media that's been happening again. So I want to like definitely watch more movies. And,
I want to read more.
Yeah, okay, that's another thing. I want to read books again. I want to go back into watching like I want to watch more cartoons. That's my goal.
There's so many cartoons that
I literally made a whole list of like things I want to watch.
I also, this kind of sounds weird, but like for social media, I usually don't really talk about myself like compared to other people, and I started doing more this, because like on Twitter I'm like, I can't post pictures of me, not really, but like I hardly post selfies, or I'm like, I can't post this because it's not professional. But you know, Twitter is not supposed to be professional, and I want to like start sharing more about myself and like on my base journey and things like that, and like talk to more people and like connect with more people. And yeah, that sounds weird, but
no, that's fine. I feel like I've lost all shame with social media.
I mean, we did post our TikToks on Twitter, so I guess I have lost all shame too.
I'm literally just like posting like, hey, what's up? This is what I'm into now. Anybody else want to talk about it? I don't know. Especially with social media, I feel like it's just a way to showcase your personality. In a crazy time like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like this whole episode is not just goals, but just reflection on this past year. And I'm just really grateful for Discord.
Yeah.
And, you know, those online spaces, because you wouldn't have think during a pandemic you can make friends, but we've connected with so many different people. And we've made so many new
friends.
Yeah.
We've made many new friends through the Discord groups we're in, and honestly it's been really nice, for especially with me. I'm by myself here in the States, and like especially with the pandemic, it's like, oh, all my friends are separated, I can't see them or whatever. But it's just been so nice like reconnecting and like getting to know more people. And even though it's not in person, like it still feels different. It's just nice to like talk and chat and like make new connections with people. I don't know, it's just so nice, and I'm just so thankful for Discord, honestly. Thank you, Discord.
Yeah. Shout out to you guys. I don't know, like me and Arielle, we always like sit in the voice chat and like just talking with each other, and then other people join in and we're like, yeah, let's party.
Honestly, it's just been really nice. What else is up? Reflection.
I mean, we graduated.
Yeah, I wonder. I was talking to my family yesterday, and then my grandma was talking to me, and she was like, when are you going back to class? And then my mom was like, Mommy, Arielle graduated already. And I'm like, yeah, I still think about that. It feels weird.
Doesn't feel real.
I don't know. We've been graduated for almost June, July, August, September. We've been graduated for 7 months.
So we've been unemployed for 7 months. Let's make it a year anniversary.
No. Break the streak. Employ us.
This is not Snapchat, guys.
But I don't know. Yeah. But the weird thing is, even if we're graduated, like, I think we talked about this with a couple of friends, I kind of miss, like, attending a class and learning. Mm-hmm. I miss learning. So, I don't know. I guess that's a goal I want, is maybe for next year.
Online classes?
Yeah, I want to see if I can take an online class.
That'd be fun.
I don't know.
It's really fun
either
if you could try.
Art related or, like, I don't know. I was just thinking about, like, art history. I kind of miss, like, learning about stuff. I'm such a nerd.
You are a nerd. Honestly, if you do take a class, you should reach out to people in Discord and ask if they want to take it with you, because it is fun to take online classes with other people.
I'm such a nerd. I kind of miss, like, learning about history and stuff like that. So maybe we can see.
Goal is just to always keep learning. Even when you're graduated.
Yeah, that's true.
Me watching video essays on, like, random topics on YouTube.
No, literally last night I was just watching, like, all the video essays on film scores. Strangely enough, like, this entire, like, quarantine year, I've, like, really started listening to a lot of people talk about music and film
What's
scores.
What's that YouTube channel that we
Sideways!
love? Yes, Sideways is so good, guys.
If you want something to listen to while you are working and you want to actually, like, learn something, I highly recommend Sideways. He discusses a lot about film scores and music in technical matters, but they translate it in a way that it's understandable for those who aren't even musically inclined. And it's really fun because they mention a lot about, like, pop culture, which I super appreciate.
Yeah, it's so good.
I want to listen to more podcasts.
Yeah.
I got so
much into podcasts this year.
Yeah, and if more people have recommendations for me, because, again, I am a big nerd, please let me know. I love podcasts where they talk about, like, random topics and I can learn about something every episode, because Abby got me into 20,000 Hertz.
Yes.
And I am obsessed. It's so cool. I love learning about a new sound every week.
Yes, I love 20,000 Hertz. I also really got into Reply All. And of course, because I was, like, asking on Twitter, I'm like, I really like Wonderful. Can you guys suggest me, like, things that are like that? And people suggested Reply All and 20,000 Hertz. So thank you guys, because it makes my retail job so much nicer. And I love learning, like, all these interesting topics.
Yeah. I kind of want to, well, hopefully, I want to try being in more zine projects. I've only been in, like, a few zines, but I think that would be fun. It's nice making things in a collective with other artists, and then you get to, like, discover other artists as well. So
that's another thing I want to try being in. I want to try being in a comic anthology.
Ooh.
I don't know how. So we'll see how that goes. If anyone has any advice on that, please let me know, because I would love to maybe even organize one. Who knows? We'll see. I just love making
Haikyuu anthology.
Oh, yes.
Zine anthology.
Yes. We want to make a Haikyuu zine.
That's a goal for me, is actually finish the Haikyuu one.
Yes. Girl, we can't have our Haikyuu episode until you finish the series.
I'm gonna finish it. I am so sorry. It takes so long for me. Like, I go through phases where I, like, read how many chapters and then I stop for a while because I feel like my brain is exploding with so much info. I'm like, oh my god, I love the team so much. And then, yeah. But that's my goal. Hopefully by January, I have finished the entirety of Haikyuu.
Yeah.
I will do it. Watch me.
Yes. So, yeah, because we have an idea, because like I made a comic because of Haikyuu, because like I was emo, and then like I was watching a stage play, and then Nishino was like, if you fall forward, and I'm like, yo, that hits me.
Me too.
So I don't really make fan art for Haikyuu, but I do really get inspired by a lot of quotes and like a lot of lessons from Haikyuu. So I think it'd be fun to make a zine where there's illustrations or comics inspired by the ideas and lessons from Haikyuu. So if anyone wants to organize that, let's do it.
Let's do it. I will cry while drawing something for it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we watched Haikyuu together. Arielle was just like crying so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when I finish it, then Abby and I can have our entire Haikyuu recap episode, which is not related to being employed or hired, but you know, Haikyuu has great life lessons, so we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Is it weird? I think that's a goal for me, is I kind of want to watch more anime.
Yeah, boy! Mob Psycho, let's go.
Did not expect this response. I was like,
girl, there's so many good animes.
Yeah, because I didn't grow up watching anime, and Haikyuu is like the first one that I am like, oh my god, I'm obsessed. But yeah, so I want to watch more anime. I really got into The Promised Neverland, which is really good. I can't wait for season 2, and if people have recommendations which is like dark and something like that, then hit me up.
I feel like you would like Psycho-Pass.
Ooh.
Because it's like, it's kind of dark, and it's about like morals and was it?
Yeah.
It's the good it's
the good place.
Not really, but yeah.
But yeah, that's another goal for me. I was like, I will watch more anime.
I want to read more manga. I want to read Monster, because I heard really good things, and everyone's like crazy about Chainsaw Man, so I want to read that. And yeah, Spy Times Family, and I need to catch up to Chihayafuru, so I have so many.
This is so funny. This episode is like a really like goals, reflections, things we like, what we're planning to do. Basically, this episode is Abby and me. I don't know grammar. We're just catching up.
You should watch Blue Period. Not Blue Period. Read Blue Period. It's about a guy who like is kind of like a punk, but he's good at school. And he like kind of is bored.
I'm so old.
He's bored by everything, and he like sees a drawing, and he's like, yo, this is cool, I want to learn how to draw. And you see how he's trying to get into the like art schools in Japan, which is really hard, and you see like all the different artists he like meet, and I think you would really like it. It's a beautiful manga.
What's it called? Blue Period?
Blue Period.
Noted.
Yeah, it's great. Hopefully it will get an anime. I also want to read Princess Jellyfish, or watch Princess Jellyfish, and March Comes in Like a Lion. There's so many things I want to consume. Like, I still have to watch Kipo season 2 and Hilda season 2 and Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah, I haven't seen. You haven't seen the new season for Carmen Sandiego? It's really. It's just like 5 episodes.
I should watch it.
But they're making like aren't they making like one more season? I don't know. I'm gonna be so sad.
Girl, if you like. Also, it was a webtoon, but me and Patricia and Maria were watching Sweet Home, which is a Korean drama based off a webtoon.
I saw the picture of it, and I'm like, this looks dark and scary. I want to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. Like me, I'm like this, like covering myself, like most of it, and like Patricia just looks at me. She's like, "Why are you doing this? It's not even that scary." And I'm like, "Ah." Yeah, it's interesting.
I wanna. Well, since you're gonna be writing like horror comics and stuff, I wanna watch actually more horror and like properly, invest myself in the genre, because I think it's just such a cool like way to tell stories, and I'm just so fascinated by it. So that's a goal.
I want to try reading Junji Ito, but I'm scared.
It's so cool. It's not scary.
People say that they get nightmares from reading his stuff, and I don't want to get nightmares. I'm a wimp.
You're gonna read it during the daytime.
Which ones have you read of his?
I forgot, what is it called? Here's the thing. I only remember the illustration.
Is it the spirals?
Yes, I've read the spirals. Yes, that one's good.
Are you gonna read the one with the holes?
Probably. I think they have it downstairs.
Wait, you didn't think Uzumaki was scary?
I'm fine with it. I'm not freaked out, dude.
I'll read it then.
I'm not freaked out.
I should read it because, I mean, it's not like I want to go into the horror genre. I just have ideas from things that scare me.
I don't know what the unemployment scares me, but
make a horror comic about that.
But I don't know, with a lot of horror, I'm just more fascinated about like how it highlights a lot of traits about humanity. So I'm not like scared about like, you know, the darkness or the gore, like whatever. It's fine. What's scary is like, again, how it highlights like weaknesses and strengths of humanity and like how kind of messed up the world is. Anyway.
Horror can be such a fascinating genre because like with Haunting of Hill House and like how it shows the trauma of this family and how they're trying to fight it. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
I was like this, covering my eyes most of it, but it was still really good.
It's good. And I was just like crying because it was beautiful. Yeah. You haven't seen Bly Manor?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god, we're gonna watch it when you
Let's
get
watch
here.
it when we can reunite. Also, I guess that's an update. Me and Arielle are gonna reunite.
It's gonna be great. So
I'm moving in with our friend Lee because they're very generous, and we're also gonna interview Lee when we reunite. So
so that's gonna be fun. That's a goal. Is like we're gonna make more things now that we're together. More collabs.
I feel like we're gonna have more shenanigans of promo of us just going like, ooh.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what other
I can cut out if we
goals.
Think.
Yeah, I don't know what other goals I have or whatever. I don't know. I just want to just make cool things.
Yes.
And be happy with my work. Just be happy with my work.
Will that happen in 2021? Who knows? I know that it's not going to happen until like at least June of like being able to go out and see people, but I cannot wait to just see people and like
that's true.
People watch again.
Ooh, that's a weird thing. It's like I really want to get back into life drawing, which is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Especially since we can't like especially since we can't like interact with people. I love just watching people and drawing from life, but you know, we can't do that. So I don't know. I miss that. I really want to brush up on my gesture drawing, figure drawing skills.
I also want to go into crafts again because I've been looking at punch rugs, you know, that kind of thing. That looks so cool. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is not going to happen because I always just look at it and I'm like, wow, that looks fun, and then just don't do it. And then also printmaking where they like carve into the block.
Want to make an actual crocheted thing. So far I've only made my one square.
I saw this girl on TikTok. She crocheted this beautiful rainbow cardigan, and I'm like, yo, that's so cool.
I want to learn. I will make something. It will happen.
It will. We will post it on the socials when it happens.
It will happen. When I make my first scarf, it will happen. Yeah. I want to get back into crafting. I also like want to paint traditionally again because I've just been working purely digital and, you know, just making all my stuff on my iPad or just on, you know, Clip Studio, but like I miss painting. I have like all my gouache paints here, and I should make stuff again traditionally because painting like in person is still different compared to digital. I don't know, there's just something like nice about it and comforting about it.
Yeah, I also bought these inks from Hong Kong and I haven't touched it at all because I'm a scaredy cat, so maybe you should try that.
Ink is fun. I used to work with ink, but except I only use like black ink or whatever.
I also want to try using Notion more and organizing my life more in 2021.
Notion is so much fun.
Yeah, you can do so many cool things. This is not sponsored, but Notion, we're here if you ever want to sponsor us.
I recommend Notion a lot. I literally have just a page just for me, and then I put like my life goal, and then, you know, under it I have categories of like,
it's,
you know,
so freaking powerful. Amy was showing us like, and I was
really
like,
cool.
what the heck? It's literally everything.
A really good.
Oh, my mind is blown.
Well, yeah.
So I want to use that more.
And like, what else?
I also want to revamp my website and resume.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I want to do. I feel like I was looking at my website and I was like, this doesn't feel like me anymore.
You know what we gotta add to the resume? This podcast.
Yeah. Where do you put this on the resume?
I have a section for extracurriculars because I did club stuff, so that's where I'm putting it.
I don't have that, so guess I'm just gonna put it randomly.
Didn't you put like your digital media writing thing on?
That was a job though. I got paid for that.
Wow, must be nice.
That was a job, so that's in work experience. But
you just make a whole new section for this podcast.
By the way, I'm also a podcast host.
Hey.
But yeah, I don't know.
I also want to fix, and this is so specific and random, but we need to make a new graphic for our videos. It's so ugly because I was the one who made it. I'm like, yo, we need to make a specific graphic for the video clips.
I got you.
Thank you, Arielle.
Graphic design is my prison.
Arielle is, we've said it before, but Arielle is the one who's behind our graphics, and they're lovely. And the font, so good. Yeah, I can't do that.
The font is my penmanship, so if anyone wants me to write stuff for them, hi, I'll write new things. But
that's another thing. I want to make one of those fonts so I can put on my videos.
Yeah, do it.
But my handwriting is so ugly.
I will do it for you.
Thanks, Arielle, for this. I'll be like in the description box. Thank you, Arielle, for this text.
For this penmanship. Yeah. I don't know. I'm like looking at my Notion. I haven't made like a whole like 2021 goals thing. The only thing here is my picture book. But
just put a link to this podcast on that. There's your goals.
My goals. I feel like my goals every year are the same. Make stuff, feel better, and then like there's a dip in the year, and then it goes back, and then we're like, we're gonna come in strong. But my
goals for the year are the same. Drink more water.
Drink more water.
Get a job.
Be successful and happy, and make cool stuff.
Make more TikToks.
Follow us on TikTok. We're gonna make more things. What if we make a TikTok for the podcast?
Yo, that's another new thing to manage. I was honestly thinking about that the other day, but I'm like, that's more work. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I was thinking about this and I was like, but we have...
But we can advertise our podcast on our TikToks.
That's true. Wow, this episode is like 90% TikTok. It's so funny. Like, I remember when TikTok was becoming a thing, you and me were like, we're never going to be on that platform. We're not going to download this.
The thing is, I did not think that would happen in 2020.
And yet, here we are.
Starting a podcast, getting a TikTok. Those are two things I thought that would never happen.
Yep. And here we are.
Getting more than 1,000 followers on Twitter. I'm like, what?
What? Yeah. How many are we at on Twitter?
For our podcast, we're like 800 and something.
Thank you, everyone, for following the socials.
You should listen to our podcast, too.
But, yeah. Ooh. But, yeah.
Okay. What should we promise if we get 1,000 followers?
I don't know. Like, what can we offer? What can we offer the people?
I was thinking either try reaching out to recruiters. I don't think that's going to happen, though. I don't know if recruiters want to be on this. Or have a thing where we ask our employed friends to do a round table of getting a job.
Our round table would be really fun, honestly. Mm-hmm. I think it would be nice to have like a group of people instead of just the guest. I think our round table would be really cool.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we had like our usual like Discord group as one like episode? Can you imagine how chaotic that would be?
There's so many people though.
Or not just like the usual.
Yeah. The voice chat people.
Yeah.
So
that'll be fun. But yeah, we've been talking for almost an hour now.
I think that's good. I think.
Yay!
I don't know what else to talk about. To recap. Hire us. Hire us.
Abby will be working on horror comics, more comics. I will be working on my picture book and, refining the portfolio.
We might be more active on social medias of like YouTube and getting Patreon and streaming on Twitch.
Arielle will be watching more anime.
We are going to be more proactive on not being afraid to reach out to people and asking if they have jobs.
Mm-hmm. What else? we will take care of ourselves and not feel guilty for not drawing or like, you know, just taking a break. I feel that's a healthy mentality we should carry on for 2021.
That sounds right.
That sounds like a good rundown of this episode.
Thank you guys for listening, because it's just us rambling.
Yeah. Thank you again. Like we said earlier, thank you for listening to this podcast. It really means a lot with all your sweet messages and just the feedback you guys have been giving us. So thank you.
Thank you, guys. We truly, really appreciate it.
Yes.
And let's plug ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Arielle.
Yeah, you can find me at Yelly Draws on literally everything. So that's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. My website is also yellydraws.com, and if you want to email me for any projects for freelance and stuff, it's arieldraws@gmail.com. And Abby?
Yes, I am Abigail, Ebbigal, on everything but Instagram, because I can't get it without the underscore. And I have Twitter, the TikTok. What else? My website is abbyleestory.com. I remembered it this time. And if you want to contact me, if you have any storyboarding projects, or you want a storyboard revisionist, or anything to do with production,
or comics,
if you want to be represent me as a literary agent, or want to give advice on comic anthologies, you can contact me through my Gmail, which is abbyleestory@gmail.com.
Yeah, and you can follow the podcast at Hey Hire Us Pod on Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to support us, we're also on Ko-Fi, which is ko-fi.com/HeyHireUsPod. And yeah. Oh, and if you want to email us, it's heyhireuspodcast@gmail.com.
If you want to like talk about your struggles or stuff, or just message support about the podcast, that
we're here to listen.
We will respond to you about that sort of stuff. And yeah, it's really nice. Thank you again for like sending all those messages.
Yeah, thank you everyone. It's been really nice hearing from you. And yeah, that's it.
That's it. Bye. Thank you for listening. Here's to 2021. Let's hope it's better than the last one.
Yep.
Let's go. I'm so hungry.
You should cut out the episode and end it like that. I'm so hungry.
There we go. I'm hungry for jobs.